out there in YouTube land.
How's it going?
Yooper Product Reviews here.
Here to not settle the debate, but at least talk a little bit about it. Today we're doing Squier right here versus genuine Fender Stratocaster.
Yeah. Both of them are HSS.
Both are HSS, so we got
which is pretty unique.
Yeah, humbucker, single coil. He's got the same thing going on.
Yeah, yep. So this is going to be a head-to-head.
Yeah. So there are humbuckers, but there are a few marked differences, which we'll get to later on and everything. But yeah, I don't know. I figured we'd do this video because a lot of people ask that same question. You know, like, what's the difference between a Squier and a Fender Strat?
Is there that big of a difference?
Is there that much of a difference where it's like, well, I'm going to spend the extra $400 or $500 to get an actual Stratocaster versus like a Squier Strat? It's like,
right.
You know, so I figured we'd kind of go over that a little bit. But anyways, I found this one out today, so this was interesting. So Squier was actually a string manufacturing company for violins, circa 1890. So they're pretty falcon old, right out there with Gibson, because they started out making mandolins, I believe. And then in 1982, Fender picked them up, and then they started making the lower-priced models of Fender Strats. And then since then, they've done a whole bunch of other different copies of Fender guitars. You know, you got your Jazzmaster, your Mustangs, your, you know, all the other ones. The Strat, on the other hand, was started a little bit earlier. That was started by Leo Fender and George Fullerton. If anybody knows who G&L guitars are, that's where that came from. In 1954. Now, the difference, obviously there is like a marked difference in sound, but also where they're made, too, that plays into it a little bit as well.
Right.
The Fender Strats are made in two places exclusively. There's in Corona, California, so obviously the United States, and then Mexico. I forget exactly where in Mexico.
Do they still make them in Japan? I thought there were some Japanese.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know.
I know they did in like the 80s and 90s, I think.
Yeah, for a hot second they were doing them in Japan, but that has since, I believe, terminated. That's why, like,
that I'm not sure about.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people are like, oh, I have a Japanese-made Strat, and it's like a kind of a deal or something, but it's not really. But yeah, so anyways, so the bodies of these are made from either alder, ash, or poplar. Your fretboards are made from maple, rosewood, ebony, or there's another one that starts with a P, I can't remember. But the Squier Strats are made from the same thing. But the bodies, however, are made from different types of wood from what I've read. And you can actually tell because we were just kind of feeling them, and a Fender Strat feels heavier.
It's got some weight to it.
It's got some weight, whereas this
one's it's a little bit lighter.
Yeah. So.
And is yours thicker too? What I think yours is thicker, like just like through here.
Let's take a look. Yeah, it's definitely thicker.
Definitely just by like a.
So here we can probably hold it
like
up to the camera.
Yeah, I don't know if you can pick that up, but like maybe like I don't even know, like a millimeter.
Something. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. I just definitely like noticed that. But yeah,
I noticed it when I played yours.
So they're definitely thicker.
A while back there.
Yeah. Which plays into the sound quality as well.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So
whereas yours is made in Mexico, mine's from Indonesia.
Yeah, his is made in Indonesia.
Nothing against Indonesian, just different place.
Yeah.
This where'd you? How long have you had yours? Yours is an older model.
This is a 2000 Fender Stratocaster. So this was
2000.
Yep, 2000. This originally came SSS, but I've since modified it. So yeah.
Right. So, and this I actually got. This is my very first guitar when I was just learning, and I've actually only been playing for just over a year. So this is the guitar I learned to play on, and I'm still learning on. I got this in the Strat pack with the bullet amp. Came with everything I needed.
You could be a rock star
to be a full-blown rock star. And I think I only paid like $300 or $400 for it. It's a pretty good deal. It came with a tuner and everything.
Yep. So you got the package deal.
Yeah. And the amp had all kinds of cool effects on it. It had your chorus and your reverb and
overdrive channel.
Overdrive. A couple other effects on there. So that was pretty nice. Give you some options there. Overall, they basically feel the same. Your neck, would say, is a little bit
It feels
just
beefier.
the tiniest bit.
It feels
beefier.
a little bit thicker, but I think that we tried to measure it, but I mean, obviously,
it's almost like you only can feel it.
Yeah, you can only
really
feel it,
yeah.
definitely. A couple of the other things, let's see, the fret edges. I don't know if anybody's ever had problems with their fret edges. What happens is the wood is obviously constantly contracting and expanding.
Yeah.
And depending on how the guitar is put together and whether or not they took that into account when it was being manufactured, I'll tell you a little bit about the quality. These I've never had to sand down or anything. These ones you'll probably use a once over.
Yeah, mine there is a little bit of a edge there.
Yeah.
So if you're really going to town here, you might feel that a little bit, but
yeah, it's nothing.
if you're
really
just
too
playing
crazy
your open
worried
chords,
about.
it's not a problem at all.
Mm-hmm.
But
So, yeah,
I'd say just in general, like I said, yours just it feels more solid. It feels a little bit better built. But and this one you can tell the materials are just like the tiniest little bit cheaper. But other than that, it's pretty darn close.
Yeah, it's pretty darn close.
You might be able to tell because you've been playing that forever. Like if you close your eyes and I just handed you one. But
yeah, it comes down to it. It's definitely a little bit about the player.
Yeah.
So we were just gonna go over a little bit today, like what the actual like sound difference is, and obviously that plays into a couple things. Like we were talking about the body. Mine's thicker, his is thinner, and also believe it or not, even though they both are HSS, we do have different pickups. He has for his pickup, he has the DH1s, that stands for Diamondback humbucking, I believe, and then these two, which are the American Mexican standards. These I have the twin head moderns for my humbuckers, and then these two are Texas Special single coils from Fender Custom Shop. So let's give it a little bit more of that Stevie Ray Vaughan sound, especially when you're in like neck position. So that's why I decided to keep them in there.
Right.
So yeah, so that plays into the sound a little bit too, but that's why we're here today. So real quick, just strike up do like a little bit of a E chord in your neck position. There you go. Do it again. Sounds a little bit. I don't know if it's like because of where I'm sitting, but whether or not
do it again. Your sound's just a little bit fuller.
Yeah, beefier, like a little bit more like bassier sounding.
Yeah. What strings do you have on your guitar?
So, these are 11 gauges. So,
right.
You have 10s, right? 10s or 9s?
10s, and these are the Cobalt strings.
Oh yeah, from Ernie Ball.
Yeah, these are the Ernie Ball Cobalts. And I will say this, it does give it a little bit more twang, or a little bit more metallic.
Tinniness.
If that's even a metallic sound. I noticed right away when I put them on.
Yeah.
And one thing I will say about them is they did corrode pretty quickly. And when I was playing, they definitely would like turn black in my hand. Which, all right, we're back.
Okay, sorry about that. Last video we got cut out. We had a solar storm and the power went out. So here we are back again to do a little debate about what's better, a Squier or a Strat, or not necessarily what's better, but what sounds better.
What's the difference?
What's the difference? Yeah. So. So we left off with you talking about the strings.
Yeah, all I was saying is that I have the Ernie Ball Cobalts,
10 gauge,
the 10 gauge Cobalts, and the only thing I was saying is that they did corrode pretty quickly. So if you're looking for long term
strings,
I'm thinking
of. The long-term string usage.
If you're looking for stamina out of a string, this probably isn't the one, but they do sound good. So I will say that.
That's one thing I've noticed about Fender strings. Fender strings rust easily.
But
so
do you want to talk about the difference between a humbucker and
single coil?
Coils?
To anybody that doesn't know what a humbucker is, or what that means, or if you've ever seen that and thought it meant nothing. It actually means a lot. It's what it is you have your two single coil pickups right next to each other, and then you have your regular single coil pickups over here. But these two right here and right there are what you call humbuckers. Now that came from the term humbucking, meaning that it cancels out noise. So what it is it's two magnets oriented opposite poles. So you have your north-south and then your south-north, like that. And then what happens is it cancels out all the noise that you get from EMI, or electromagnetic interference, which comes from lights and all other electrical wiring all over the place. If anybody's ever played a live gig and has single coils with a lot of gain on, you can really hear it. It makes this like kind of sound. So if you take that and flip it all the way to the neck, you hear that? That's single coil. Now flip it down. And you can touch the strings, it's okay. But yeah, so it goes, it does a little, it does that. So you got this big like sound, and then you go humbucking, and it goes away.
Cuts most
Let it move, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a huge advantage to this. Not only do you cut out that noise, but also your sustain is like super duper increased, and it'll just go forever. So with single coils, you only have one magnet that's picking all of that sound and trying to throw it out of the speaker. With humbucking, you get noise canceling, and then you have two pickups throwing it all out. So,
Right.
yeah.
You do get a different sound though.
You do get
single
a much,
coil and humbucking. There's definitely a different sound as well.
yeah, you do get you get a more broader range of frequency. Like if anybody's ever seen a graphic EQ, like kind of like on your amp, you have your lows, your mids, your highs. You have definitely a little bit more of a low end and a little bit like, you know, scoop mid kind of a sound. You still keep those crisp highs, but you have a little bit more of the low end with it as well. So
would you say a humbucker is like crunchier, whereas like a single
actually,
coil is more like crisp? If you
yeah,
will?
yeah. Actually, that's a good word for it. So single coil is more crisp, whereas like a humbucker is a lot more crunchy. So a humbucker sound or a single coil sounds a little bit more like tinny sounding. So, and actually that's what we were talking about before. Is like the main difference between a Squier Strat and a Fender Strat is we're kind of going over the overall sound. So go to your bridge or your neck position and just strum out like a G chord.
G?
Yeah, let's do a G. So there's a G on that guy, and then here's a G on this guy. So you can see how it sounds a little bit more fuller sounding. Which, hey, if you like that one, go for it. If you like this one, go for it.
Yep.
We're not saying neither's better, so it's all personal preference.
Yep.
So, and then go to your middle pickup. Let's do it. Let's do it. And then do it. Ooh, I like it.
Mine, yeah, this one definitely has a...
It's so much more tinny. It's like, I know I keep using that word, but like that's just what it is.
It's tinny. This is a lot
tinny.
more mellow.
Yeah, a lot more mellow. Now, go to the bridge. Now I got, right here, I have twin head moderns, and we talked about in the other video, he's got DH1s. So those are, you know, direct from the factory. Great pickups if you want to maintain that that single coil sound, but with the humbucking, you know, capabilities. So
right. So here's a G. Oh, a little hard.
Still, now you can tell, it's like super.
Let me flip back to neck.
There, so you can. Yeah, see, like it actually sounds like you still have a single coil in there, and you don't.
Yep.
You know. So anyway, so here's the twin head modern humbucking pickup. So that's bridge, and then just to give you a point of reference, here's neck. Oops, sorry.
That's my humbucker.
So the one thing I've noticed is that these are kind of mid-rangey. They have like that almost like kind of British kind of sound to them. If anybody knows what like British distortion sounds like, you know, it sounds a lot like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the pickups are the
Could be partially the strings, but
yeah,
because you do have a little bit thicker strings.
It's definitely a lot of things. But what's good here is that, you know, we both have humbucker. Both of our guitars are HSS, and they're both, you know, a Strat body. There's so many different factors that play into the way the sound that a guitar makes. But we just wanted to kind of show you what the difference is between a Squier Strat and a Fender Strat, and that's pretty much your main difference there. Is that a Squier Strat kind of sounds a little bit more tinnier, and Fender Strat kind of sounds more full-bodied.
Right.
So,
should we play a little something? I'll play some rhythm, and then we can switch
good.
guitars.
Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
Ready? I'm gonna switch to neck.
All right, sounds good. Alright, there we go.
Alright.
So that's our Strat. Are we switching plugins too?
Let's just switch guitars.
Okay.
Alright, there you go.
Sweet. Bam. Honestly, I gotta say, I know that, I like the twin head Martins and everything, but I do like the sound of these DH1s. They're pretty good. They I love a single coil sound, and these kind of
it's more sparkly.
Yes, the integrity of a single coil pickup is definitely maintained with the DH1s. They are not with the twin head Martins, but whatever.
One thing I noticed right away by switching is your neck is definitely a different shape than mine. Yours
is a lot more thicker.
It's thinner this way and a little bit thicker this way.
Yeah, I feel like yours is kind of
a little beefier.
It feels like I feel like I'm grabbing onto a little twig here. I'm gonna have a hard time putting my hand on it. Okay, all right, let's do it again.
Good.
Yeah. So like we were talking about
Big
before.
difference.
Yeah. Sounds like this damn thing's made of aluminum. Partially.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the difference.
That's the difference between these particular models.
These particular
HSS
ones.
Strat, Squier Strat.
Squier Strat.
So
that's what it sounds like.
Until next time.
Oh, and wait, we were talking. Okay, so.
Oh, no.
Price range.
Price range.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're talking anywhere from $150 to about $300 to $400.
Yep.
And 400's cutting it.
$300 for like the top of the line Squier.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe a little bit more.
Fender Strats anywhere from probably bottom line $200 to $300. But then top of line, you're talking anywhere into the thousands range.
Yeah, thousands.
2,000 sometimes, but that's like
for an American, like an American standard.
Yeah,
you're talking what, like
900 to 1,000. Yeah. So, if you are a beginner player and you want to get something that's not going to break the bank, definitely go for it. It's a great sounding guitar,
Mm-hmm.
And then
something if you once you save up a little money, start going on the road.
Mm-hmm. Start playing shows like this guy's going to do. Let's play at the Palace, August 17th. Check him out.
It's going to be a while. August 17th of
2036.
2036, maybe. All right, so is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Let's
until next time.
Yooper
Reviews.
Yooper Reviews. Check out more of our guitar videos.
Subscribe, please. We're going to put up new videos, hopefully at least once a week. So, with that, you want to play them out?
Play them out.